With the combination of using the derived components with inheritance and the encapsulative process, you you achieve what's called extensibility and mutability within your mechanics. You can build upon a mechanic or change the way that things are structured without causing a ripple effect or a cascading set of bugs and errors within the rest of your program. As you can see, the bullet prefab has a combat interface, and on collision enter, it will cause the building to take damage. This is all that the bullet prefab does. That's all the combat interface knows. However, we can start to make changes to the way that our entire building system is set up. For example, we can decide that we want to build an additional kind of building, perhaps a spawner building. In Clash Royale, there are buildings that you can create that repeatedly spawn units. That would be something like the little graveyard that spawns skeletons, or that little hut that spawns goblins that throw the spears. So maybe we want to build something like this. That building, all it does is take damage and spawn enemies. So we would treat this similar to a tower, but rather than attacking back, it would keep track of what kind of unit is spawned, and it would keep track of an object that is a unit spawner that will enable the objects to come into being, and it will spawn the units at whatever interval. Additionally, it will go through any other behaviors to determine its lifespan and life cycle within the game, and it will be able to take damage and die. Other changes that we could potentially make is we could decide that we want our castle to attack back, because in Clash Royale, the castles actually do attack back. If you get too close, then they will shoot you. So what we can do is, rather than having the castle scripts derive from a building, we can have them derive from a tower, which means that they will gain the additional behavior that the tower had, which was taking damage and death, plus when the enemies enter the trigger, they'll run an attack function. You can gain those abilities and still have an override of the death, meaning now your castles function as towers, shooting back, but they have the unique behavior when they die. In all of these changes that we've made, there has been absolutely no change to the bullet prefab or the combat interface. So, as we've done these changes, we don't get any bugs. The bullet prefab simply knows that buildings exist and it does damage, and we will create bullet prefabs without making any change to their script. This is completely encapsulated, and it harnesses on the power of inheritance and derived components.